Good morning, Cowboy Jim up here in Fort Mac, and it's actually warmed up a bit. Oh my 22 plus year old Dodge Cummins actually started yesterday. I nearly fell right off the seat. Amazing, truly. It looks today as though it will start again, which is kind of nice. And Christmas is over. Boxing Day, uh, thankfully, is over. And something came on the screen there. I don't know what it is. Oh, yep, good. It's going. I still don't know what it was. But anyways, I was thinking this morning I would like to do a nice short video, and I'm actually trying to grow up a bit here, and I mean, some of my videos are blessed near an hour long, and uh, and I tried to get them whittled down to 20 minutes and say the same thing, which actually wasn't that difficult. And, uh, and then I tried for a little shorter timeline and so on, and I'm working on it diligently, and I I recognize that Christmas is one of the um, most more pleasant times of the year. Easter's pretty cool. I mean, if you have someplace to go, Thanksgiving's good. I mean, if you don't have to cook, I mean, Thanksgiving's good. And I remembered walking down the street in Calgary about 8:30 or so in the morning. I was going in to have some uh, surgeon check out something. I can't even remember what body part was broken, but oh, because I've had quite a few. Um, 15 what I call major surgeries that required anesthetic. And anytime you get put to sleep, well, I think it's better than being awake. I guarantee you that. I had a surgeon one time down in Banff, and he was doing the third surgery. The first one he had done, and the third one on my right knee. And he said, "Jim, you want to watch?" I said, "You got to be kidding." I said, "Hey, no, I don't. I really could care less. Put me to sleep. If I wake up, hey, I'll be all right. If I don't wake up, I'll be fine." I didn't want to watch. Why in the world would I want to watch somebody cutting my knee all to pieces? I mean, bad enough it hurts, but worse, how do you get rid of that memory? Gee whiz, terrible. Anyways, I uh, I was headed for an interview with a surgeon downtown. I don't know why doctors always like offices downtown in Calgary. Nice, Calgary is a nice place. I mean, for the most part, people are friendly. And take a look at me. Shoot, I blend in, kind of, well, a little better than most times. And and as I was walking down the street, it's kind of cold, about 2 inches of fresh snow, and I saw someone in a green sleeping bag uh, laying crossways of the sidewalk, and I thought, I I I don't think I could go to sleep uh, in a sleeping bag, totally covered, couldn't see any parts at all, and head inside the sleeping bag. Well, all that does is collects moisture and freezes your buns off by morning. I mean, it's the way it is. You have to have a way to get rid of that moisture, that air, the exhaled air. And and I watch people step over that green sleeping bag and walk around, and they never quit talking. Well, down in Calgary, hey, I'm telling you, some people talk to themselves, and there's no one else there, and it's really funny when they kind of stand there and watch them look for to hear in case they miss. Anyways, everybody walked by this green sleeping bag, I think it was below zero. It was definitely below zero, and and I watched, and I thought, uh, I have slept on the ground at minus 27. Thankfully, some First Nations Métis had cut a bunch of spruce boughs off and had made several little uh, uh, thick areas of spruce that you could put your sleeping bag on. And boy, you weren't taking your clothes off. Let me tell you, back in those days, I had a really bad sleeping bag. Not as bad as this green one that was stretched across the sidewalk. It was still pretty bad. So I got about 10 foot from the green sleeping bag, and I said, "Good morning. How you all doing?" And no response at all. And but thankfully the sleeping bag moved a bit, and I thought, oh dear God, thankfully whoever's in the sleeping bag still alive, because if you're still alive, there's a hope if you have enough guts to grab onto it and do something with it. Anyways, I talked to that green sleeping bag for a while. People just kind of walking around us, and I was standing about 6 foot from the sleeping bag, and I thought, I I'm glad that I'm not in that green sleeping bag. I'm glad that I had a good warm place to sleep last night, as I did here in my little apartment in Fort Mac. And I spoke to the green sleeping bag, and the person inside was stirring, but they weren't saying a word. And I said, uh, if you wouldn't be offended, I'd like to ask you a question. Sleeping bag moved a bit. I said, how are things working out for you? When you were a kid, is this where you thought you would end up being today? Do you have hope that will give you purpose? Do you have goals? What happened to your goals? What happened to your dreams, your ambitions? Well, unfortunately, I know what happens to dreams and ambitions, things like that. They get wore down and flat out wore out. I said to the sleeping bag, down here we have what is called the mustard seed. They'll give you a place to sleep, a warm place to sleep. All you have to do is just go knock on their door. Mustard Seed is a very caring Christian organization, but they're not like religious or anything, but they're purposeful in their intent to be available to help people. So, Sleeping Bag and I had a interesting one-sided conversation, and I told them, I said, Jesus Christ loves you. If things aren't living up to what you had hoped uh, while you're alive, you still can change. Because in hope, while you're breathing, you can change. You can. When you stop breathing, the hope is limited to what you had anticipated before you stopped breathing. So, I don't know whatever happened to that. I think it was a lady in that green sleeping bag. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anything I said was of any value to that person, was of any benefit whatsoever. I don't know. I said it not from a position in place of narcissism or hypocrisy. I said it because I care, and I do care, because I haven't been asleep on the sidewalk. I have had my issues over the years, time to time, with alcohol, but nothing that would lead me to sleep on a street, not at all. And and at this time of the year, I'm I'm hard pressed not to think of that person in that sleeping bag, because there's a scripture. It says, "But for the grace of God, there go I." And if anyone forgets that that's a truth, a truism, a truth, but for the grace of God, there go I. Anyways, I wish that person in the sleeping bag a good day. I don't know how. I don't know how they could possibly have a good day minus something if the best place they could find to sleep during the night was in an old, wore out green sleeping bag on the sidewalk. Concrete's awfully cold, and I don't care how good a sleeping bag you have, it's pretty cold when you're in it. So, it's Christmas. I'm blessed, eh? I mean, my old ranch house was 5,000 square foot, 3-car heated garage, sit under the deck or on the deck, covered deck, 176-foot long, went across the front, down the east side, and back on the north. And I think, life's challenges are many, but I think one of the greatest challenges that we have is to care for others, to care for others, and to reach out if you can and touch a heart. And if you can't, at least let the people know that you notice that they are alive, they exist. So I went on to my surgery thing and all that sort of junk. And when I walked back about an hour later, sleeping bag was gone. Fortunately, whoever was in it was gone. I don't know what you're going through. Don't know what you've been through. I know what I have been through, and I know about 80% of the problems in my life I created. I walked in them. I didn't whine, complain. I don't do that. It's a waste of breath. But I did learn how to pray when I was very, very young, 2, 3 years of age. I didn't know who I was praying to, but I learned to talk to the Creator. And as a kid that young, I learned to listen for that Creator to answer. There's not much point talking to someone if you don't anticipate that they will answer in whether situation or whatever, even verbally, in your heart, soul, spirit. So you may think you're going through some hard times. Don't waste your breath on it, because we're all going through hard times, and what we're going through now is nothing compared to what it will be like in a year or two. I am the most positive person that I happen to know. And I want you to know something. You're going to live till you die. Only what you do today will prepare you for eternity. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me." Jesus said, "There's no other name given unto man whereby you must be saved." I love John 3:16. It's simple. Half the time I can remember it. Goes kind of something like this. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Only way I ever found to be at peace with God was to simply say this: God, forgive me. I accept that Jesus Christ, your Son, suffered, bled, and died on the cross. He took my place for my sins on the cross. He rose again from the dead and sits at the right hand of the Father. I hope things are going better for you than that person in the green sleeping bag. If that person in the green sleeping bag survived, and chance to watch some of my videos, I would love to hear from you. I just like to know, did you make it through? Were you able to take your brokenheartedness, your broken dreams, schemes, hopes, dreams, and were you able to lay them at the foot of the cross? I wish you the best. You're going to live till you die. Only you can determine through that simple prayer: God, forgive me. I accept that Jesus Christ took my place on the cross. I am so sorry. Help me to be what you want me to be. Therein is life. Everything else is a facade, a door that you have to force open, walk through, and you don't even know what you're walking into. Whereas God, the Creator, is love. I wish you the best, eh? I truly do. We're coming up on the New Year's, and thankfully I'll be back to work. It seems like I'll be back to work. I didn't realize how badly I needed work till I had a month off. Anyways, God bless. Consider where you are. If you're not in a green sleeping bag on the sidewalk somewhere, I hope you're appreciative. Things may not be the way you would like them to be, and you may not be with the person you would cherish to be with. And if you're alone, then you're not with someone who probably hates you. Although, I think our problem in life is we have two emotions, love and hate. And half the time we love ourselves so much, we can't see the hurts of people around us. And half the time we hate ourselves so much that no one would ever like to even talk to us. So God bless you. Um, I kind of started out hoping that somehow I might be able to cheer you up. Don't think I did that. But God bless. Consider the Creator, not religion, not denominationalism, not hypocrisy, pretense, whatever. Oh, there are some good churches out there. I found one here in Fort Mac. Problem is, I've been living alone for so long that I find I don't fit in very many places. Okay, God bless. Remember that simple prayer. Remember that God loves you. If you're in real bad shape, look around, find someone else who is in worse shape, give them a hand. You'll feel better. Guarantee you.